Hello everybody! Welcome to the week of graphic novels. Today is Sunday, the 26th. It is the first day of the week of graphic novels. I have a very busy day today, but I have a little bit of time this morning, so I'm going to start my first book. I've decided to start with Meal. This is just the one I'm in the mood for today. So I'll read that for a while, and then I'm meeting with my RPG group. I'm part of an RPG group that's like kind of like a tabletop style game that's actually based on the Harry Potter universe. I think for all of us, it's like a very healthy way for us to interact with Harry Potter. Basically, like the things that made me love Harry Potter so much growing up was like fan interaction and connecting with friends and like immersing ourselves in that world, and it's been really good. I don't know, I feel like I might even get like some pushback of saying this at all, but I mean, I absolutely have no respect for J.K. Rowling as a person. Harry Potter was truly like one of the biggest parts of my childhood. I still really cherish those memories. I feel like I would never support like Harry Potter as a franchise or anything like that J.K. Rowling creates. Obviously, it's possible to enjoy media from horrible creators, and I think the important thing is to continue to remain critical of those creators and to not like financially support them or promote them. But yeah, I'm curious if you have thoughts on this. I definitely think it's more of a malleable discussion than a lot of people portray it as. For all of us in this group, this has been like such a healthy outlet for us to be fans in our own right and not have anything to do with like modern day Potter or J.K. Rowling. Yeah, we have a really great GM, and she put so much work into basically creating like a better version of Hogwarts that we all like want.
Well, I shrinked mine. I think it's a perfect size now.
That was super cute. And you guys, okay, here's Celeste shrunk. It's Celeste Blankenship.
Do I do my magic just regular for a first year spell, or do I add one?
We can do a +1, I think, for first year spells.
Okay, so it'll be +3 altogether. Diminuendo. Perfect.
So that's what I'm doing this morning. And then my family is coming over and we're celebrating my brother's birthday. His birthday is tomorrow, but he's working. So we are going to get some food, play some games. I think we're going to go on a hike, take the dogs out, and it's going to be a nice day. So that's what's on the docket for me. I will update you once I read a bit more of this book, but I'm very excited. Happy week of graphic novels. It is beginning. I have been waiting for this. I've just been looking at the books. They're all just in a pile on the ground, and I keep looking at them and I'm like, I want the week to start. I've been waiting for this. I'm so excited. Oh my god, I haven't eaten yet. This is making me hungry. You know what? Never mind. They're making mealworm curry, so I'm less hungry now. But honestly, this is very cool. More power to you. Okay, so this book is basically about how it's normal for people to eat bugs and wanting to bring that movement to more Western countries. And I'm really into this. Like, I completely agree that eating bugs makes a ton of sense for a variety of reasons. It's laid out here. And I just think this is really cool. And also, it takes place in Minneapolis. I wonder if that's gonna focus. Look, it says Minneapolis. I swear it does right there. I don't think this is a real restaurant, but it's like about a restaurant opening up in Minneapolis where they serve bugs. But I love this. Hey guys, it is Monday morning. Pretty much today, the only thing I have planned out is just hanging out and reading all day. There's this really nice screened in porch sort of structure in the backyard here, and it's really nice out. It's very peaceful. I have lots of snacks, some mood music, and I am just chilling and reading and just hanging out here because it's really nice. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing today. Hey guys, it's the end of day 2. I read 3 books today. So I read Minus by Lisa Nafziger. This was like an okay reading experience. I flew through it pretty quickly. It kept my attention. I did like the art in this book. So it was an okay read, but for me, the story and the plot just really, they did not come together. It was not doing it for me. There really was like no character development or exposition. It just kind of throws you into some drama, and then the drama goes on for like a little bit, and then it's like, here's a huge, wild twist at the end, and like everything gets revealed, and it's super dramatic and just like way off the rails. I feel like the point of this book was like to have a dramatic reveal. There really wasn't much else to it. Way too many cops for my liking. Also just a lot of stuff going on here that is so morally questionable. The book kind of glosses over some things. It really just like wasn't well developed. So I gave this 2 stars. Not horrible to read, but truly, I just don't think this was very good. And yeah, that was my first book. Then I went on to read Moon Cop by Tom Gauld, which, I mean, also is about a cop. I was really questioning my decisions at this point. But this book I think was pretty good. It takes place on the moon, and it's basically like this really melancholic story. It's really quiet. It's very simple. It's kind of just like a meditation on loneliness, maybe a little bit of depression. A society that is like in some ways almost like a utopia, but in other ways utterly desolate and awful. And I don't know, it was an interesting read. I really did like the art in this. Like, it's so simple and bleak, which like was completely representative of the story. I loved the color palette and like the simple art style with all the cross hatching in the art. I quite enjoyed this. So this was a 3.5 stars for me. I thought it was really solid. I quite liked it. And then the last book that I finished today was Honor Girl by Maggie Thrash, and I actually listened to the audiobook version. I checked it out from my library and I listened to it, and honestly for me, the audiobook left out so much of the book that I can't say I would really recommend it. I did end up liking it kind of by the end. It was kind of like a fictional podcast, but it doesn't really describe any of the images. It's just a full cast performing all of the text in the book. So there are some scenes that are more like image heavy, that it just kind of glosses through them. There are some sound effects that will tell you kind of some things that are happening, but there are a lot of things that I got from the book the first time I read it physically that I absolutely would never have picked up on from just listening to the audiobook. So I'm glad I did it. It was an interesting experience, but I was a little disappointed that there really was no description of what was going on in the images, because I feel like they are pretty important. You know, it's a graphic novel. There are pictures for a reason. So yeah, we know that I've read this before. I think the first time I read it, I gave it 4 stars. I mean, honestly, I would not have given 4 stars to just the audiobook on its own, but this book to me is a 4-star book. I think it's super solid. I absolutely love it. Oh, I started reading Map to the Sun. Is that the name of it? That's one of the graphic novels I checked out online, so I realized I hadn't been paying as much attention to those, and I should probably get on those. So I read the beginning of that. But yeah, that's it for now. Hello, guys. Oh my goodness. I've been doing a really bad job vlogging this week. I think part of the reason is because I'm doing kind of a bad job on my reading goals. Today is Wednesday evening. I don't think I checked in yesterday. I didn't really get a lot of reading done. I went out foraging, so that was really nice. We found a lot of pretty cool stuff, so it was really nice. I'm sure that you can see on the screen lots of the different types of mushrooms that I found. So yeah, I had a really good time, and then in the evening I was playing Stardew Valley with some friends. One of my friends streams on Twitch, and we have a co-op farm.
I'm gonna sell some turnips. Anyone want any turnips?
What is a turnip?
Turnip?
Wait, oh, tulip.
Tulip. I will link their channel down below. Definitely give them a follow. Krollmeister Sisters, it's two sisters and they stream lots of Nancy Drew games, which I'm really into, but other games as well. And you can join us for farm nights. Usually we farm on like Tuesday evenings, like every other week. It's very fun, but I didn't get any reading done. And then today's Wednesday, and good lord, I feel like I just accomplished nothing. I've been like running around doing like all these different random things and being anxious and trying to do things, but then like not actually accomplishing anything. So I keep like switching gears today. Then it ends up with me doing nothing. And I don't think tomorrow's gonna be any different because I've been taking care of Rufus, living in this house for an entire month, and I'm leaving tomorrow. So I need to pack up all my stuff and probably clean everything, which would be great if I was doing an audiobook readathon, but I'm not. So reading graphic novels, not ideal. I have started a few new titles. I started reading Red Winter by Anneli Furmark, and so far this book is like communism and infidelity. That's like the main things going on here. It's okay so far. I realized when I added it on Goodreads that apparently this is the third book in a series. However, the first two books do not appear to be translated into English. So I don't think it's possible for me to even read the first two books in this series. Why did they translate the third one into English? I don't know, but I guess I'm just like gonna read this. Surely you don't have to have read the first two books. Otherwise, what would be the point of translating the third one? I don't know. I think it's maybe kind of like a cycle of stories that are kind of related. But I mean, so far, like, this is not difficult to understand. I think it's fine reading it without the other two books. But, ooh. And then I've also started Stargazing, which is really cute so far. I really like these two main characters. It's just very sweet and I'm liking it. And I want to give a special shout out to Lark Pian, who is the colorist of this book. I think that the people who do the color in graphic novels, a lot of the times they don't get a lot of recognition. Obviously, Jen Wang wrote it and did illustrate it, but Lark Pian did all the color, and I'm really liking the color in this book. It's a slightly softer color palette. I tend to read graphic novels that have really bold, rich, bright colors, which I do love. And then on the flip side, if it's not that, it's gonna be really dreamy, unusual colors and like a themed palette, or it'll be like very, very pastel. And it's not that either. It's like a pretty standard palette, just like a touch softer than you expect. And I just think it's very beautiful. That's all I really have to share. So we're halfway through the readathon. 4 days down, 4 days to go. I would not say that I'm halfway through my TBR. I am, in fact, definitely not halfway through my TBR. I will update you when I have something to update you on. Hey guys. It is the end of the week of graphic novels. This is my third time trying to film this like final wrap up. First time I got interrupted by a runaway dog. Oh, there's a doggy outside. I need to go see if this doggy needs help. Second time I filmed it, I put the footage into my computer and it sounded like this. Hey guys. So this better be the last time. The week of graphic novels is over, but I didn't finish wrapping up my vlog because I'm awful at vlogging, apparently. Do you hear that airplane? I don't really like introduce this in the vlog, but I have a ton of footage of my last like 3 days of the reading vlog because I actually went on a little like weekend getaway with a couple friends and we went up to a cabin up north. It was really, really fun. Before we get into the final little wrap up, I just wanted to share footage of that little excursion plus a few random food clips that I took. I didn't really have enough to do like a full food montage for the week. I haven't done one of those in so long, but those used to be like a staple in my reading vlogs. But here's a little food montage, and then mostly just like a little autumnal mini vacation, which was very, very nice.
Fog's rolling in off the East River bank like a shroud. It covers Bleecker Street, fills the alleys where men sleep, hides the shepherd from the sheep. Voices leaking from a sad cafe, smiling faces try to understand. I saw a shadow touch a shadow's hand on Bleecker Street. Crooked rhyme, holy, holy is his sacrament. $30 pays your rent on Bleecker Street. I heard a church bell softly chime in a melody sustaining. It's a long road to Canaan on Bleecker Street.
So that was what the last 3 days of the readathon looked like for me. We did do some reading, so I did manage to finish 3 more books that were on my TBR in those last 3 days. So obviously I need to wrap them up. I finished reading Meal. I ended up really liking this. I would highly recommend picking this up because I think that this just is a really solid, cute, fun read. I really enjoyed my time with it. And I think that it was a really interesting topic. I liked the emphasis on food. Personally, I really loved that this took place in Minneapolis, so it was local to me. I honestly just felt like it was educational and eye-opening and really, really lovely to read about the perspective of eating insects, and it's not something that I've really ever read about before, so that's why I would definitely recommend this, because I really think that it was an interesting topic and a perspective that is so worth reading about. I gave this 3.5 stars. I really liked it for all those reasons. It definitely was a more like simple story, not something that's probably gonna like stick with me forever, but something I really appreciated. It was just very short and sweet, and yeah, I really liked this. I also finished reading Red Winter by Anneli Furmark, and this one was just okay for me. I think I landed on 2.5 stars for this one because I was just like in the middle. Like it really wasn't bad, and there wasn't much that I actively disliked about it, but there wasn't much that I actively liked about it either. It was just like, it was okay. The politics really took center stage in this book, and it just like wasn't super interesting to me. There wasn't much of a plot. It's very slice of life. I usually really like slice of life stories, but I think that I need to connect to the characters a little bit more than I did here for that to work for me. Nothing really much happened, nothing really much impacted me. It was a pretty reading experience. that's unfortunate. And then the last book that I finished reading during the week was A Map to the Sun by Sloane Leong, and I really, really enjoyed that one. I will say that it was a little bit of a slow start for me. I expected it to be more like centered around this basketball team, and the basketball team doesn't even form until kind of a ways into the book. Really what the basketball team does is like it kind of provides a framework for you to connect to the 5 main characters of the story, and you just kind of follow their lives. It's another book that is actually very slice of life, but for me it was more successful because I really liked spending time with these characters. I would just say know that going in. It's kind of long and slow, and it is very slice of life, but it was really, really good. It's very much about girlhood and the struggles that come with being a teenage girl. There's so many different things that these characters deal with all throughout the book. I just thought the cast of characters was lovely, and the art was so stunning that it just made the book a joy to flip through and read, and it was just a beautiful book. The only criticism I wanted to point out was that I do feel like some of the topics were really, really heavy, and I think that they maybe needed to be unpacked a little bit more in the book. But other than that, this was really, really nice, and I definitely would recommend. It was kind of a hidden gem for me because I didn't really know much about it. So yeah, it was really good. And that was everything I read during the week of graphic novels. I had a massive TBR, and I think I read 6 books during the 8 days, so it definitely was like not anywhere near as successful as I maybe hoped it would be. I knew I wasn't going to read my entire TBR, but I still wish I had read more, but that's besides the point. The point was to just pick up graphic novels, and I did that. And I know that other people did as well, because I saw people, you know, messaging me and saying that they were reading graphic novels, and it seemed like people were enjoying themselves, and that was really, really fun. So yeah, if you participated, let me know how it was. If not, this will probably happen again. I don't know if it'll be like a yearly thing, but at some point we'll definitely do this again. Oh, and I didn't mention all the reading challenges that I set up. There were 8 reading challenges, and I did manage to complete 7 of them. Red Winter was a translated book. It also embodied a season. Moon Cop was a monochrome color palette. Honor Girl had a queer main character, was also a memoir. Honor Girl and Neil would make up 2 different age ranges, adult and YA. After the Sun was written by a person of color. So the only reading challenge I did not manage to complete was to read a book with an animal as a main character. I was gonna read Mouse, and I still might get to that before I return it to my library, but I did not do it during the actual readathon. So I did pretty well on the challenges. Overall, it was a good week. It was a really fun readathon, and I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you guys later. I'll see you very soon.